Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope you had a great day. Today we are looking at some new entitled parent stories. I hope you enjoy them. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button. The first story is called Muscle Cramps. My mother grew up in a household that didn't believe in doctors or going to the hospital. This translated to an irrational fear of hospitals for her. At the time of the story, I was 14, in high school and about to have a very bad day. I should start by saying that my mother lives exactly 1 mile away from the closest emergency room. Also, my siblings and father were out of town for a competition that weekend. I didn't feel like going to another cheerleading competition, so I stayed home. I get home from school on a Friday around 4 PM and call my mother to tell her that I don't feel good and think I need to see a doctor. She says that she has a 1-hour workout with her personal trainer, who happens to train the whole family for our sports teams. She tells me that she will come home right after and take me to the pediatrician. 4:40 PM, I call her saying that something is seriously wrong with me and I really think I need to go to the hospital. She tells me that her trainer had just had a cancellation and she is staying for another hour workout. Then she will take me to the doctor. 5:10 PM, I call her and beg her to come home because I'm in a lot of pain and feel terrible. She gives the phone over to the trainer, who says, I kid you not, it sounds like a muscle cramp from our workout last week, you'll be fine. She says that she will call our friendly neighbor across the street to check on me. 10 minutes later, I hear the neighbor walk in through the door and come to my room to check me out. I'm on the floor because I fell after going to the bathroom and couldn't get up. She helps me to bed and immediately calls my mother. The conversation goes something like this. Hey, I think you need to get here ASAP. Your son is white as a sheet and sweating bullets. Also, he is in so much pain he can barely move. Oh, I'm sure he is fine, probably just overreacting from a muscle cramp like the trainer says. This isn't just a muscle cramp. He needs to see a doctor. I can put him in my car and meet you at the hospital. No need for that, I finish up here and head home to take him to the doctor. And with that, she hung up. 5:45 PM, the neighbor calls the mother again. She says she is in the changing room, then will be home in 10 minutes. The gym is pretty close. 6:20 PM, she finally gets home. The neighbor tells her what I've been going through and says I need to go to the emergency room. Mother says she is taking me to see our pediatrician. She does take me to see our pediatrician, who also runs a pediatric emergency room. The problem is that the doctor's office is 25 minutes drive away with zero traffic, and we are at rush hour time. Around 7:15 PM, we get to the pediatric emergency room and they immediately take me into the back to see what's wrong. Turns out I have an acute appendicitis and it's close to bursting, so they need to send me over to the hospital to get it removed. The entire time my mother is murmuring about needing to get ready for a trial the next day. She's a divorce lawyer. And how I will probably be fine and just need to sleep it off. Then there comes a moment when my mother's out the room, but I have a doctor and nurse in the room alone with me. I tell them the whole story about how I've been trying to get her to take me to the emergency room since 4, and how we lived only a mile away from the hospital they wanted to send me. But my entitled mother decided to go here because she hates big hospitals. The doctor didn't really believe me until I told him to check my address relative to the hospital. I managed to convince them to call for an ambulance to transport me to the hospital to make sure I got there. After my surgery, the nurse told me that my appendix burst as I began the surgery, so they had to be quick. To this day, I still tease the trainer every time I see him by grabbing my side and saying I think I have a muscle cramp. I've never heard him use those words together since. The last story is called Paint Me for Free. I'm a high school student in my junior year and I've won various awards for my oil paintings. Some of my works are displayed in local galleries as well, and I take commissions that vary in price depending on the type of painting they want. Most of my patrons request biblical paintings since I am best at painting in a Renaissance Baroque style. And I love to paint scenes with lots of movement. That being said, I also paint a lot of portraits of families and local politicians. Basically, if you pay me, I will paint anything. This all happened before 2020, and I was displaying some of my work at my school's art fair. The district rented a huge auditorium where various schools would display their best work and then auction it off for charity. It was a fun event and a surprising amount of people showed up. Now, here's where it starts. I had about 5 or 6 paintings on display, most of them were depictions of Greek myths and stories. I had some business cards that my dad had gotten for me, which had some of my info just in case people wanted to commission me, along with a pamphlet of my prizes and such. In comes the entitled mother with her baby and a carrier thingy. I don't know what they are called, they look like baskets. I'm sure you have seen one before. I must say the baby looked pretty new, their face was all swollen and they looked pretty small. Why she would bring a newborn baby to a crowded area with lots of noise? I don't know, but hey, I'm not a baby expert. She grabbed a business card and examined it, then looked back at my paintings. Hey, these are pretty good. Obviously nowhere near as good as the old masters, but a pretty close second I guess. So for a 16-year-old they are pretty good. Oh, thanks I guess. I've been painting for a pretty long time and I'm glad that people enjoy my stuff. I appreciate the compliment. Oh, I see you do commissions. How much for one of me and my baby? Well, it depends on what you want. What did you have in mind? Maybe us laying in a field or something. I don't know, something cute. Oh, I can do that. What size did you have in mind? She points to one painting which was 16 by 20, so a standard medium-ish painting. Okay, well, for two people, normally it would be about 200, but since your baby is not a grown adult, I can make it 125. What? That's ridiculous. Why are you charging so much for a painting anyway? Well, usually a painting that size takes me about 20 hours at least, and the paints that I use are pretty expensive. Not counting the canvas or paint mediums that can be pretty pricey too. I don't care about that stuff. Why can't you just do it for free, huh? I'm a single mother and I really want this painting done. At this point, I'm floored. She's asking for over 20 hours of work for free when I have school on top of it. Sorry, I don't think I can do that for you. It's just not worth my time. I have school to balance as well. I'm a single mother and you are telling me to pay $100 for this trash? Do you have no heart? I have to work so hard to provide for my daughter. I can't believe that you could be so heartless. At this point, she is yelling at me pretty loudly. Her baby is surprisingly still sound asleep. A couple I was talking to earlier comes to my defense. If you work so hard, then you would understand that doing hours of work for no pay is not worth it. Yeah, if you worked 20 hours and then didn't get your paycheck, you would be pretty angry, huh? That isn't the same thing. She's a high school student. She doesn't need the money. She can spare a few hours for me. What? No, I can't. I'm not giving you a painting for free. End of story. Either pay for it or leave. She gets red in the face at this point. She is seething in anger. You little jerk. I can't believe how rude you are. You don't even care that I work so hard. You're right, I don't. Now, if you aren't going to commission me, then can you please leave? You are making a scene when I have been nothing but nice to you. Fine, I leave. She then walked up to one of my paintings and took it off the wall. Her baby wakes up and starts to cry, probably from all the noise. She begins to shush her baby and speedwalk towards the exit, but not before a man, who I assume is a teacher or something, grabs her arm and attempts to take the painting back. She puts the baby carrier on the floor and attempts to wrestle it out of the guy's hand. They fumble for a while, yelling expletives at each other while struggling with the painting. I should probably note at this point that the painting didn't have a frame or any protective glass over it. I probably should have done that, but it was too late. She rips the painting out of his hand and smashed it against the floor like a hard rock singer and his guitar. Wood went flying everywhere, people were screaming at her. I was crying because I don't know how to handle my emotions. She turned back to me, sweaty and red. See what happens when you are so rude? Bad things. I hope you've learned your lesson. At this point, I don't respond. I'm on the floor crying, near my painting that I had put so much work into. The wood had pierced the canvas and now there was a huge hole in the middle of the painting. She gets dragged out of the venue as various teachers and other students try to comfort me. Eventually I calm down and the event goes on. I did get about 5 commissions, so I guess it wasn't all bad. My principal said the district was suing for property damage and that the case is taking longer than expected since they had to take it to the school board first. He said he was going to tell me what happened a week ago, but decided to wait until everything was finalized. He said I would be compensated for the loss and that I would need to give a statement. He also said that a teacher had filmed the ordeal on a phone and that the entitled parent was definitely going to court, so it's a win. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.